Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be testing the three different artifacts, Tidecall, Verdant, and the Resonating Spell in our Primal Lord attack. We're going to be using the standard Graveborn team and see which one gets the highest damage score. And the reason for this is because in AFK Analytica Discord today we were doing a lot of testing with the Tailene team with different artifacts, and it was turning out that Resonating Spell was not doing that much better than the other artifacts, and I think one problem with it is that the attack buff that you gain from Resonating Spell is a 35% increase to attack whenever the hero casts ultimate, which normally makes a big difference, but in the Graveborn team you're getting so many attack stacks on killing the Plague Rots that your attack is so high that if this is only adding on another 35%, it's not making as much of a difference. And then I think it comes down more to the stat distribution of the artifact you have. And when we look at the stats given, the Tidecall Spell is a little bit better. The crit and haste, I think, are more valuable than a lower haste and attack. And then also Verdant Spell is going to be an option I really want to try because it gives you buffs which will scale on all the stats you have. For example, if Lily May has a bonus 30 penetration, which she will gain over here because she's a rogue class hero, then her high stats from all of the attack buffs she has, it should all be basically causing her to then deal more damage with this 30 penetration, like kind of more multiplicative than additive. So I have a feeling Verdant Spell is going to do pretty well. We'll try Tidecall Spell as well, and finally we will try Resonating Spell, but we're going to switch up the formation and have Carolina be the hero getting the Resonating Spell instead of Lily May, because in the testing I've done so far, it actually has been that Carolina is dealing almost the same damage as Lily May, so it might be better to have her with the Resonating Spell. So that's what we're going to try in this team comp. Okay, so I've set the hero levels. The Iron team that I showed in my previous video, that is an option if you don't have Rainier at Mythic Plus, but if you have Rainier at Mythic Plus, he is going to be better for you. And for this team, we're going to be using Cecia as the damage swap sacrifice for our team because she has the most stats, and we'll be running with the Thorn. I think, yeah, we'll run with the Thorn, give more attack buff to the Carolina because she's going to be our main carry, and we're going to see how high of a score we can get with this team. Okay, let's go. So attempt number 1, we're level 581 on all of our carries. Okay. It may be that Ludovic is better than Thorin in this position. I'm still kind of unsure which does better, but people have been sharing that they're having better results with Thorin on average, so he might be the better option. Okay, down to 50 seconds, only 4 billion damage on the score meter, which is not too great, but here comes the damage burst. Look at that Lily May ultimate, pretty much just hitting one hit 1 billion damage. That's crazy. And Carolina is going to be shredding through all the Plague Rots so quickly, up to 9 billion damage, 28 seconds left, 10 billion damage. Okay, things are getting insane here. Resonating Spell on Carolina, 11.5 billion damage. Could this be the team? Well, now the problem is it's going to take us some time to clear these Plague Rots. Also keep in mind that the damage calculation, like the final damage output, is going to be lower than what it shows here. But look how we shred through that. Resonating Spell on Carolina with the attack buff from Rainier Charms. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage reduction at the end, so in the end it's only going to be 13.1 billion damage. As of right now, the top score, final score I've seen is 14.1 billion damage with the Tailene team, pretty much all Paragon 4s. So to get 13.1 billion damage still is really impressive and pretty amazing. And if we take a look at the damage chart, again, Carolina and Lily May did almost the same damage, even though Resonating Spell was on Carolina and the attack buff was on Carolina. It's kind of, so this is why I think it's just an additive buff, and because they're getting so many attack buff stats already from just the Graveborn buff tiles, it's probably better to pass on this artifact and go for a different artifact choice. So now we're going to try the different options, and I think I might go back to having Lily May getting the attack buff charms from Rainier. Maybe that'll be better. Okay, now we're going to try the Verdant Spell and see whether this can do better. I'm hoping for good things from the Verdant Spell. The stat distribution, this is the major problem. Only attack, no other secondary offensive stat, like Tidecall gives haste and crit, Resonating gives attack and haste, but this one only gives attack. That's a major issue I see with this, but we're going to give it a try and see what happens. Okay, Verdant Spell. because the class-based buffs which will periodically apply seem like they're gonna really like take advantage of all the buffs we're gonna be stacking onto the heroes. But this Graveborn comp honestly is insane, and if you have Lily May and Carolina up to Mythic Plus even, people have even done it with like +5 exclusive equipment on Carolina getting really high scores. So I kind of recommend this team even if you have Lily May and Carolina alone at Mythic Plus. That is enough to put together this team. Just run 2 other Graveborn heroes, Rainier at Mythic Plus or Iron if you don't have Rainier. And okay, so 8.5 billion damage, 30 seconds left. We need to burst him right now. Okay, up to 10 billion damage. Looking pretty good. We need to keep bursting through. This is like our damage potential time. Our window, basically. So Lily May, I think, casted another ultimate, but right as the major Plague Creeper was going down, so I think the damage didn't go off. And in total, it's going to be up to almost 13 billion damage. And, okay, 12.8 billion damage. So this one did less than the Resonating Spell. Verdant Spell is not going to be as effective. I think it was a pretty, like, the Graveborn comp is pretty consistent in its damage output. Not much is, like, left up to RNG. There always is going to be a bit, but from these 2 tests, it seems like Resonating Spell is a little bit better. The class-based buffs of the Verdant Spell are just not good enough. Okay, so now we're going to have to move on to the final option, which is going to be Tidecaller Spell. And then after this, the only thing left I have, I won't be able to test it today, but I guess in future days, is going to be swapping Thorin for Ludovic. And I'll do like a side-by-side comparison of Thorin versus Ludovic in the next video, because Ludovic does give the attack charms to the backline hero behind him, and also I think he has a little bit more damage output than Thorin. Thorin is mainly here for if he can land the Soul Plunder onto the boss to increase the damage the boss receives. Okay, so our final test with the Tidecall Spell is going to be better than Resonating Spell. Overall, actually, Resonating Spell did pretty impressive. Like, it actually, the score meter showed for almost 14 billion damage, but sadly, the actual like calculation was down to 13.1 billion, which is still pretty good. Compared to yesterday, it is an upgrade like by 600 million damage, which I was hoping for more than that. But let's see whether Tidecall Spell can do anything about that. Okay, up to 9 billion damage, 29 seconds left. This is really the moment, like this is your window on this part of the boss's health, like between 30 and 20 seconds left, that you can deal as much damage as possible, because then the Plague Rot spawn again. It'll take time for you to clear them up. And 12 billion damage. Can we get up to 13? The good thing about... Oh, okay, this might be better, because Tidecall Spell usually adds onto your score at the end. Yes, this is better. Tidecall Spell is actually better than Resonating Spell. I think it's because of the stat distribution of the artifact giving you crit and haste. Like, really good offensive stats to scale off of all the buffs we have on the heroes. And also, you're getting that soak debuff onto the enemy, even though you're not casting that many ultimates. Pretty frequently. 13.6, almost 13.7 billion damage. I'm really happy with this score. I'm really impressed with this. I think this is the way to go with the Tidecall Spell. Probably is the optimal choice, at least for this comp. Maybe for the Talene team, could be Resonating Spell. But even there, Tidecall Spell might be the better option. So overall, I think we got a lot basically figured out in this team testing. If we compare it to my top rank in my guild, who's running the optimal Talene team, we're not so far behind him, even running no Talene in our comp with the Tidecall Spell. And he has all Paragon 4s, and he got a good run with the Talene team. So 13.7 billion damage is a really good score for today. And even the Lightbearer comps I've seen as of today, the maximum scores are around about 13.5 plus billion damage. So we're right in that like ballpark. So overall, my advice is that today we have the reset tickets, right? To reset your faction talents. I think it will benefit you if you have Lily May and Carolina even up to Mythic Plus, even at +5 exclusive equipment. I think you go for Graveborn team, because it is going to be consistently getting high damage for you, which will allow you to get the maximum chest rewards on a daily basis, which will make a difference. You'll get more levels off of that, and then you can compete for the top ranking position on the final days. And even when we're talking about like the maximum damage you can output with the team, the Graveborn team has been performing better for a lot of people, but there is like the RNG factor of the Lightbearer team, where it is possible it could potentially outperform your Graveborn heroes if they're not fully like invested to the highest levels. Okay, so anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just to recap my faction talent tree, this is what it is. Basically, you only have to go for the left side of the tree for the offensive buffs other than this skill upgrade. Because this is going to give 1 extra percent and this one also. So in total, 2 extra percent of the sacrifices stats will be given to your prime carriers, which again, when you actually consider it, is kind of negligible. It doesn't make really any difference. You just have to level up the left side of the tree. But if you want to just be completely min-maxing, then get these two. But honestly, I really think because you're stacking your buff so much already with the graveborn comp, like those 2% hardly makes any difference. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm planning to make a video showing you all, because I've been like paying close attention to the AFK Analytica Discord. We've gone through all the different team testing. I want to go through a video showing you, based on which heroes you have on your account, even if you're lacking a lot of mythic pluses, which teams you should try to run for the Plague Creeper, and which faction tree you should like invest into, because we have the reset ticket. So I'm gonna plan to do that in a future video. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.